With all the summer outdoor activities, both your pets and families are at risk. Here to share some tips on how to keep parasites from ruining your summer fun is Dr. Simon Starkey, preventative veterinary medicine expert. Welcome, Dr. Starkey, and welcome, Zeke.
Hi, it's a pleasure to be back.
All right, let's talk about fleas and ticks. I think oftentimes we associate fleas and ticks with like being out in the woods and hiking, but they can be right here in our backyard as well.
That's right. I'm just up the road in Phoenix, and in this dry desert environment, people tend not to think too much about fleas and ticks. But what we don't realize is that we've created a lot of microenvironments or microclimates in which they do like to live. So, for example, at our corporate office, we recently put in a nice dog park, but it's in a irrigated grassy area that's a little bit low-lying, and that happens to be a perfect environment for fleas and ticks. So as we've sort of urbanized and brought some of the northeast to the southwest, what we've done is set ourselves up for some of these pests that perhaps may not have been here 100, 200 years ago.
And so how can we protect our pets and also our children who are outside playing and getting into the same things that our dogs are?
I think the best way for pets, and this will help people to a certain extent, is to apply a monthly preventative product. So PetSmart, we carry really wide range for every budget and interest. We particularly like carrying the Bayer line of products such as their Canine Advantix 2. This is a small tube of liquid that's applied to the back of the neck. Follow the directions. It may be 3 to 5 spots depending on the size of your pet. And this will provide actually a month of protection for both fleas, ticks, and mosquitoes.
And even if we're using this product, should we still be checking our pets every time that they come inside from being outside?
We should, ideally. It's a challenge, and I think with bigger pets, and if we're in and out frequently, that can become somewhat burdensome. But it is absolutely the gold standard. But again, even with a little guy like Zeke, there's not a lot of area to cover, but he's got a very dense fur coat. So I feel better knowing that he has, in this case, Canine Advantix 2 applied. I don't have to worry about it. Maybe we go up to Sedona or Flagstaff. It's a little more conducive, even so, up there to certain parasites like certain ticks. And so I know he's protected. One of the concerns here is ehrlichiosis. Now, a lot of us have heard of Lyme disease, and that's a problem. We get many snowbirds and their pets coming in from the northeast with that. Not so much Lyme disease here in the southwest, but there is a very, very comparable condition called ehrlichia, and that's carried by ticks, and it can cause fever, lethargy, anorexia, lameness, and significant discomfort and distress. And again, that can be largely prevented, if not eliminated, through monthly application of a product like Canine Advantix 2.
And if our pets are not protected yet, what are some signs that we should be looking for?
So, those signs, again, would be things like change in appetite, weakness, lethargy. The joint pains and stiffness can be a giveaway for most of these tick-borne diseases, but sometimes they can be tricky to diagnose. So if you have a waxing and waning illness, that may be something your vet will consider. Certainly never too late to start a preventative regimen, and again, it's one of these things where a relatively minor investment and that monthly time to place the product on, or every 8 months in the case of the Seresto collar, I think is well worth the peace of mind.
And doctor, really quickly, obviously with our Arizona heat, another thing that we should really be careful with our pets is heat stroke. What are some signs of heat stroke?
Yes, so absolutely a concern here, and that would be things to look out for would be excessive panting. Pets don't sweat, they cool themselves by panting, and if they're panting a lot, that means they're really hot. Now that can lead to dehydration because it's acting almost like a swamp cooler to cool them off, but that's losing the water in the saliva. Other signs would be weakness or lethargy. They may be less interested in the hike you're on or fetching the ball you're throwing them. In advanced cases, they may collapse and even lose consciousness, and then you're in serious condition. Those pets should be immediately hosed down or placed in a bath or pond or pool if it's safe, and then contact your vet for additional advice and treatment.
Excellent, doctor. Well, thank you so much for your time this morning.
Thank you.
And don't go anywhere. The Morning Blend will be back before you know it.